Hello, John from Bang & Olufsen in Manchester. You all know I love a new product release. They're my favourite videos. But my favourite kind of product release is a Beolab speaker. Oh yeah, so we get today to look at the Beolab 28. Of course, you already know that because you read the title and clicked on the video. But before we start, I've stolen Steve at Sounds Heavenly idea because I thought it was quite nice. I was considering starting a Patreon, but I can't honestly dedicate and guarantee I can dedicate enough time and effort into maintaining a Patreon account with extra benefits and things, because this is not my main job. YouTube is just a bit of a hobby of mine. So you could go to buymeacoffee.com/BOJohn. And if you want to support me, because I often do get people asking how they can support me and they want to buy from me, but I can't ship products outside the UK. So if you do want to support me and support this little channel of mine, you can buy me a coffee at the link in the description, and it would be very, very much appreciated. If not, carry on with life as normal and we'll crack on and get on with the video. So, Beolab 28. Now, Bang & Olufsen have been making tall column speakers out of aluminium since 1986 with Beolab Penta. They were the first active loudspeakers and the first ones to have adaptive bass linearisation, a technology made by Bang & Olufsen. This allowed them to extract a much bigger sound and a much more powerful bass response from very small speakers. And the advantage of having a tall, slim column speaker is that they only take up a very small amount of floor space, and as an added bonus, it often raises the tweeter to ear level so that you don't have to have stands or mounts. Now, Bang & Olufsen have been perfecting this design since the Beolab Penta in 1986 with Beolab 6000, 6002, 8000, 8002, Beolab 1s and of course the lovely Beolab 18s. But now we have the Beolab 28, which is the latest iteration. As you would expect, Beolab 28, like all of the other Beolab speakers, are absolutely beautiful. They're made of anodised aluminium on the cabinets, and you've essentially got two parts. You've got the foot at the bottom, and then the cabinet, the long, slim, sleek part at the top, seems to be floating above the foot because it's supported by a spine at the back, which also doubles as some clever cable management. There are two spines available, so you can mount them on the floor, or you could also wall mount Beolab 28 with the foot facing the wall. And dressing the main cylindrical part of the speaker are handcrafted oak curtains. You can also have these in fabric if you're not an oak lover. Now, Bang & Olufsen have been using the same supplier for their wood since 1949 so that they can ensure the absolute best finish and best quality, which I think is really lovely. Now, with Beolab 28 being indeed Beolab, which is the Bang & Olufsen naming structure for the loudspeakers, they can of course be connected to a Beovision television. So if you've got Eclipse, Beovision Harmony, Avant or any other Beovision TVs with Powerlink outputs, you can use these as Beolab speakers as part of a 2-channel or 5-7 channel surround sound system. You just use the Powerlink inputs just like you would on any other Beolab speakers, and away you go. They also support Weisser wireless technology, so if your Beovision supports Weisser as well, you can use them. They also have another trick up their sleeve which sets them apart from other Beolab speakers. They have the Mozart streaming engine built in, so essentially Beolab 28, as well as being connected to a TV like a normal Beolab, they are essentially an audio system all by themselves. Now, you can use a single speaker for streaming if you so please, but come on. Why would you? Why wouldn't you not have a pair of Beolab 28s? That's more how they're intended to be used. So you can have a pair that will link either wired or wirelessly and be a fully fledged audio system. So if you're not wiring to a Beovision television, you can just have mains power, and that's it. You can just have a pair of Beolab 28 mains power and they will deal with everything wirelessly. They will connect to your router wirelessly, and then they use a technology called SpekerLink, which will join the two speakers together as a pair. So in your Chromecast groups, Beolab 28 will not show as two different products. That will show as one Beolab 28 in your streaming group, and it will play to both speakers as stereo. Essentially, one speaker becomes the master and that has all the connections, and then the secondary speaker becomes the slave speaker, and they talk to each other and synchronize. But if you're like me and you prefer to hardwire, you can hardwire both units into your internet router, or you can wire one to the internet router and then daisy chain that one that's connected to the slave, and they'll work just as well. And if you're connecting to a TV, the TV will deal with everything while the TV is on. And then if you want to stream music to them without turning the TV on, as long as the TV is off, they are a Beolab 28 audio system, and you just pick up your phone or tablet, stream music to them, and they'll play without needing the TV to be on. In terms of connectivity of Chromecast, Airplay 2, Spotify Connect, the Bang & Olufsen radio, Bluetooth 5, wired Powerlink, Weisser wireless Powerlink, hardwired Ethernet socket, and a 3.5mm jack input, which can be analog or double as an optical input. There are various ways to control Beolab 28. If you're connected to a Beovision television, the television will take care of everything as normal. If you're using it as an audio system, you can use Beoremote 1, Beoremote Halo, or the Bang & Olufsen app. With it being Mozart, you've also got the familiar touchpad on top. So with these controls you can do volume, track up and down, play, pause, pairing, and you've got the 4 familiar profile buttons mimicked on other products such as balance, level, emerge, and the Beoremote Halo and the Beoremote 1. So long press will save a particular profile, whether it be a playlist, playing music, or maybe a favourite radio station, and then just press one tap to recall that profile. Just like Beosound Balance, they have adaptive room compensation, so you can calibrate them to their position in the room. This works particularly well above 300 Hz, where they can achieve a really focused sound dispersion and really aim it at the listener. So you have, just like Beolab 50 and 90, a narrow and a wide mode. Now narrow will focus that sound to a listening position and give you a very precise stereo image, whereas wide is helpful if you're sitting with friends or family listening. It gives the speaker a 180-degree arc in front of it of sound dispersion. It's also very good for movies and TV watching if you're connected to a Beovision television. And remember those oak curtains that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. This is where the obligatory Bang & Olufsen magic comes in, because when the speakers are off, those curtains are closed. When you go into narrow mode, they will open to show a tiny slit of the grey fabric behind those oak curtains, and when you go into wide mode, they will open all the way to signify they're in wide mode. The curtains have no acoustic benefit. They move because why not? I mean, it's Bang & Olufsen. Bang & Olufsen have been making moving parts and magical movement forever. And it's just part of that Bang & Olufsen experience. And 2, it's to signify to the user and just give a little bit of feedback as to which mode they're in. So closed is off, narrow is narrow, and then when they're open all the way, that's in wide mode. You can open or close them manually if you need to remove the covers for cleaning or to get inside them by touching the 2 left and right arrows on the top of the touchpad just once, and they will toggle between open and closed manually. Underneath that floating cylindrical cabinet is the foot, and that houses an ultra long throw 6.5-inch bass driver. That bass driver is downwards firing or against the wall if you have them wall mounted. At the top of Beolab 28 lives one 1-inch tweeter facing forwards, and then you have 3 3-inch full range drivers, one facing forwards, one facing left, and one facing right. And it's these drivers that help with the adaptive room compensation and also the beam width control, just like Beolab 50 and Beolab 90. The speaker cloth underneath those curtains can be grey or grey melange, which is a grey-black combination which matches Beosound stage, Beosound level, and of course the Beovision harmony. The oak from launch will come in light oak oak, smoked oak and walnut to your preference. And the anodised aluminium cabinets can be silver, black anthracite or bronze tone. I'm sure more will come along as the speaker evolves. So it's the end of the video, and I have the difficult task of trying to describe what Beolab 28 sound like to you lovely people. I've come in early this morning for a fresh listen to Beolab 28, so I was laying in bed last night thinking about what I was going to say and couldn't get to sleep, and that's ridiculous because I really want to do these speakers justice for you. Look, there's no substitute for going to listen to yourself, so if you live near a Bang & Olufsen dealer, I highly recommend you go and try them out for yourself. That being said, I absolutely adore them. That's my honest opinion. I love them. Bang & Olufsen say they do not need a subwoofer, and I can confirm that is absolutely true. I really don't think they need a subwoofer. Even if you plug them into a TV with a Beolab 19, I think the True Image processor would quite possibly not use a subwoofer anyway. But they don't need it. I think honestly you would spoil some of that control and some of the dynamics by adding a subwoofer because they are so finely tuned all by themselves. The bass depth is incredible. That adaptive bass linearisation with those 6.5-inch drivers really does work the magic. The detail is off the scale. I've tried them with Chromecast, completely wireless, with Spotify Premium and Deezer Hi-Fi, and they sound fabulous. I've tried them on the Beovision Harmony 88 with movie clips and FLAC files, and equally impressive. I preferred wide mode for movies, and then when you go to narrow for music, it really pulls focus and the singer is right in the middle and you can place where instruments are. They're fabulous. It is like a miniature pair of Beolab 50, and that is high praise. I love the fact that they're so flexible. They've got the Mozart platform with the replaceable streaming engine, so when future technologies come along, that module can be switched out and then you can enjoy future technologies that haven't even come out yet. I think that's a nice touch. I like that you don't have to plug any external sources into them if you don't want to. They are an audio system all by themselves. You can connect them as part of a surround sound system. You can connect them to your TV. They're just the most flexible Bang & Olufsen Beolab loudspeakers by a mile so far, and I hope more like this will follow into the range. So I personally would definitely choose them over a Beolab 18, Beolab 19 combination. I just think they're all in all more complete, more rounded package, and they're more flexible, and they sound better. I would even choose them over the mighty Beolab 20s, even though the Beolab 20s have those 10-inch drivers and they sound particularly good for movies with that really good sub bass. I think Beolab 28s just have more control, they have more finesse, they're just an overall better package. So I would choose them over everything apart from Beolab 50 and Beolab 90 basically. They sit in the range exactly where they should do. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it there because I could sit here and talk for an hour about Beolab 28s. They're beautiful design, proper Bang & Olufsen. They sound absolutely fabulous and they're really flexible in terms of their use case. So I think Bang & Olufsen have really done themselves proud, and I love them. If you want to see connectivity options, you can check out Steve's video, link in the description, from Sounds Heavenly. Until then, you'll see me in the next video. Thanks for watching.